In the deep darkness, where reality and fantasy merge into one, do you dare to enter the unknown world? So let's get to the story. I am trying to tell you the story I am telling you today as it was told us. I am studying in college. This is incident of my village. My house is located at the western edge of the village. My house of this, it takes only 2 or 3 minutes to walk the nearby village. There is a well-known market called Dhatuya Bazaar, which is located on the north side of my village. The road landing to market, you get dislodge to reach the market. You must turn around the car harm in the Koli market before the market. The corner is very scary and people from the area aware from it. Before reaching the market on the left side and the road, there are two palm trees and on the right side there is a house. Just to the right of the corner there is a old graveyard and road next of the graveyard lanes thought to bamboo grave. In a word, the place is always letting a scare people. After passing the open area, the market is right side ahead. A few days ago, I was going home. I usually go bed late, so around 10 or 30 p.m. I decided to go for a walk. I noticed the road was empty and there were no shop open in village square. So I thought go the Dhatuya Bazaar as in the could lively in night. I began walking towards the market. As I walked, I suddenly started thinking about all the tales related to the scary corner ahead. I lived wandered alone at night many times before, but I never had been afraid. So I gathered my courage and continued walking. All I cloud here was the creeping of the cricket, and I dragged sense of the new moonlight. I turned it to the flashlight on my phone to help guide me. As I moved forward, I came across the two plum trees on the side of the road. After passing the first one, I heard a loud noise as something jumped down from the tree and I fell on the road behind me. I quickly turned it around and in the rush, my phone fell from my hand. It was pitch black and I could not see anything, but I could smell a burning odor. I left like someone had towards a turned corpse behind me. Trembling with fear, I humbly picked up my phone from the ground. When I turned it on the flashlight, I looked around, but there was no one in sight. My heart was pounding with fear. I didn't know what to do. Looking towards the house on the right side, I saw that there was no light, which meant everyone must have been asleep. I stood alone, repeating Ayatul Kursi, Surah Nas and Surah Falaq repeatedly, while flashing my phone light around, checking if anyone was there nearby. I stood there for a while, unsure whether to go the market or turn it home. It's important to note that the man had to work night shift from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. for 2 weeks every month. Because of this, his wife experienced many strange occurrences, which terrified her. She shared some of this incident with him. On night after returning from the office, he was completely alone in the house. After completing her usual course, he was going to bed. After a short while, she started dreaming about several monkeys angrily throwing stone on the house. Suddenly she woke up and thinking it was just a dream and spent the rest of the night. Up until this point, everything seemed normal. However, after this, unusual things started happening. One day, as usual, her husband left from work around 8 p.m. and she went to sleep. A bit screamed. Suddenly, she woke up to the sound of someone knocking on her door. After hearing knocking from about 2 minutes, she nervously asked who is there. To her surprise, her husband's voice came from the other side on the door. "It's me, open the door." Hearing her husband's voice gave her some refill. With sleeping eyes, she get up and opened the door and asked, "Didn't you go to work today?" Without answering, her husband walking strange to the bed and lay down. She thought they might be upset about something, so she didn't ask further and lay down beside him. Later, the Fajr call to prayer wake up her up, but she didn't hear the call. Instead, she heard the sound of her husband's bicycle bell outside. With his calling her name, Fatima, Fatima, he asked her to open the door. In a dream, she thought to herself, but my husband turned home last night. So why she is outside now? She turned to call her husband only to realize the Ozentun fate next to her. Calling ran through her body. At that moment she was wondered. If that's my husband outside, then who was I sleeping with her entire night? Her body became numb and her mind on blank. Sitting up, she began to think about that had happened. Suddenly she heard her husband scream and the board are back to her sense. Her husband was calling, but what's wrong? Why are not you opening the door? She hurriedly got out of bed. He opened the door and hugged her husband tightly. Bursting into tears, the man asked what happened. His wife asked, did you just turn it from work? He replied, yes. Then she said, then who was there last night? You come home at night? Hearing this, the man trumped worried and he beginning to upset his wife. In a fit of rage, her started beating her suddenly. Without listening to her invitation, he was mercilessly beat her and threw her out of the house. Overcome with anger and threw his wife left her father's house. That night, the man didn't go work. He left torment, remembering how his wife had repeatedly begged him to listening to her, but she hadn't. Regret filled his heart, and he lay in bed, unable to sleep. Her words kept echoing in the mind at around midnight. As he was finally dozing off, he was heard a knock at the door. He asked, who is it? To his shock, he heard his wife's voice from the other side. Could not believe it. He asked again, why are you here so late? The voice replied, I didn't to go my father's house. I sat at the neighbors feeling guilty. Her rushed to open the door and heard her saying, I shouldn't have beginning you like that. After a while, they both went to sleep. At some point in the night, he woke up feeling extremely hot, with his eyes still closed. He realized something was wrong. Who she was holding was not his wife. It felt like he was embracing a bear, fur covering its body, and a terrible tense fear gripped him. Heart pounded, didn't know whether to open his eyes or keep them shut. He was so terrified that he could not even remember any prayers. Slowly he gathered courage, invoked the name of Allah, and opened his eyes. Thought she was made his blood run cold. Her teeth were long and sharp. Her eyes gripped as if they were on fire, and her shining skin gave a monstrous appearance. She flashed a horrifying grin at him. The man could not take it. He fainted instantly when he wake up. It was morning. He get out of bed in a daze and stopped outside, realizing his mistake. Laying next to him isn't his wife. It was an old woman. She was terrifying, aged, her body covered in thin carriage hair. Without delay, he went to his in-law house, bringing his wife back. Later, his wife told him everything she had experienced, but he never shared his own terrifying encounter with her. Then the sought out to renowned religions on scholar and explaining everything that had happened. The scholar told him the place where you built your house is home to family of Jinn. Our presence disturbing them, and they were trying to carry you away. Without wasting any time, they dismantled their house, relocated it closer to the main road. Even now, they occasionally winters paranormal activities, but they no longer face any harm. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more story. Thank you.